So, howdy everyone. My name is Cassandra Johnny Turbide. I'm a member of the Nuakai-Wet'en, or the Frog Clan, and have been the Land and Resource Manager since August of 2018. For those who may not know me, my grandmother is the late Josie Johnny, and my mom is Bonnie Johnny. So before joining the department, I received my Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Studies at UNBC, and my job mainly consists of overseeing the department staff, projects and initiatives that we have, various administrative duties, as well as attending the various meetings regarding industrial stewardship and different projects in SICA's KO or our territory. As always, it's been a pretty busy year for our department. We released our forestry film, Old Growth, New Beginnings, earlier this year, and if you haven't watched it, you can watch it on our SICA's YouTube. It speaks to some of the work that our monitoring program does around forestry, as well as the challenges and impacts that it's had on our territory, our culture, and our way of life. So Jasmine spoke on some of this, but since I've started my position, we've been working on the implementation of immediate measures and the protection of our biodiversity management areas. We're finally at a place where the province has agreed to protect those areas through legislation, which will allow space for resource management planning. And our ecosystem restoration plan that has also been talked about ties into that as well. So currently, right now, we're only allowing forestry in the territory underneath our licenses, which have a requirement for small dead pine to be harvested. And as has been mentioned several times today, we're expecting a new disposition of tenure for SICAs and our other Carrier-Sicani communities, which will allow us to have further control over planning and harvesting in our territory. Cora and Amber also spoke about the governance pilot project, so I won't talk too much about that in regards to our ecosystem restoration plan and the traditional governance oversight committee. Again, we welcome further participation, so if you guys would like more information, please contact me or Cora on that. Jasmine spoke to some of the restoration projects that we have in the territory. So we have a moose habitat enhancement project in one area of the territory right now. It's a pilot project around the Hawk Forest Service Road. And what's been done there is they've taken blocks that have passed free to grow requirements, blocks that were mostly planted with pine, and they've done different spacing. So over the coming years, we're going to be monitoring those areas and looking at what type of shrubs and different moose food comes up, and if we have to, we'll plant them. So we're pretty excited about that, changing the current forest that we've been left with. There's also a road deactivation project that we've been doing. Part of it's been in the Crystal Road area, and we worked through a process with licensees so that those areas are not going to be touched into the future. And I know we have a commitment for further funding for further road deactivation, and we're hoping through these processes we're going to be working more with the traditional governance oversight committee so that community has more input into these areas. There's, as you all know, there's two major projects in the territory. So we have Coastal GasLink and Blackwater, and they're both here today to talk to you guys after my update. For Coastal GasLink, I'm a part of the liaison committee, and we meet twice a year to discuss the project. The agreement that we have with them and any issues that come up. Harold Alexis is our construction monitor and community liaison, and he's done a great job at flagging any issues for our department to follow up with the company. The Blackwater project, as you'll learn more about, is in its second round of detailed review for major works permitting, and I'm involved through the Environmental Management Committee and the Mine Review Committee, as well as through direct engagement with the company. I'm also involved in the participation agreement that you've heard Barry talk about. We've been working with Source Environmental in the review of the plans, and they also helped us throughout the environmental assessment, and I've been really grateful for their knowledge. As an update to our monitoring program, we have James Thomas, Eric Johnny Martin, and Reese Patrick. This past year, they've been working on more wildlife studies. So for the past 2 winters, they've done camera studies around fisher presence and abundance in the territory, working with the John Prince Research Forest and the province. And this fall, we're starting a new grizzly bear camera study looking at travel corridors. On top of the regular forestry monitoring and community work that they do, the past summer and fall in 2021, they also helped CSTC with the sturgeon monitoring program as they had a shortage of staff there. And I think it was a pretty good experience for them, as well as the regular water quality monitoring project that they've been doing with our natural resource liaison, Ashley Rafile, and the Upper Fraser Fisheries Conservation Alliance. And Ashley continues to assist our monitoring program and build her skills through various training. This year she learned a program for water quality data called Aquarius, and she spent many grueling hours over the computer. She prefers the field, but I think she's doing a good job at learning that. And this program is going to allow us to receive the data and hold it in our community. Before it was being held with EDI, and so that is part of that data governance that I think Jasmine was talking about this morning as well too. COVID's provided some barriers from her to go out with the natural resource officers on inspections, but now that that's over, we're hopeful she's able to go out more in the field and follow up on some of those concerns that our department has and any concerns that community might have on things that you see out in the territory. I'm going to leave it at that.